Mike Martinez here. Welcome to another edition of Your Money Matters. Just wanted to share with you some of the things that we continue to hear. Obviously, we continue to hear from a lot of our clients about another buyout. Is it true? Is it going to happen? The answer is we don't know. But the reason why I wanted to do a video is to explain that if there is another buyout, just like we saw back in 2020, people need to be prepared, I guess, overall. And one of the things we have, is a 10-step layoff survival guide or a buyout guide, I guess is the best way to put it. But understanding really what your options are. And if you want to get this, just go to our website, thepensiongroup.com, or give us a call, 614-423-4600. But, what if there is another buyout? Is there going to be any type of severance? Is there going to be enhancements to the pension? Maybe 3 years added to your age, 3 years added to your pension, very similar to what we saw back in 2020. Understanding Social Security, making sure you have your health care in place for you, your spouse, or your children. And understanding if you have a pension. Do you have that ability to take a lump sum? Understanding these 10 crucial things is extremely important. And again, if you want to get your 10-step layoff or buyout guide, certainly give us a call to learn more. But you need to be prepared. And again, we have a lot of people. We've had the opportunity to help hundreds and hundreds of people already this year retire, really all throughout the country. And one of the reasons why a lot of people retired, we had a lot of people retire end of year with various companies. We have had the opportunity, a lot of people retire March 1. Why? Because of the change of what's happening to interest rates. Jerome Powell had the second largest rate increase since 1972. And as a result, people on average someone with 30 years lost $100,000 to $150,000 in a lump sum pension. Like I mentioned earlier, we had people losing $200,000. And I had a client all the way out in California that did not retire and lost $400,000 of their lump sum pension. So the reality of it is you need to be prepared, you need to be educated. But let's take a step back and talk a little bit about these segmented interest rates. In 2021, the first segmented interest rate was 1.02, the second was 2.72, and the third was 3.08. And again, we have this on our slide right here for you to look at. 2022, interest rates we knew were spiking. Around this time, we were educating people on what was going on. 5.09 is a massive increase compared to 1.02, 5.60 the second segmented interest rate versus 2.72, another massive increase in 5.41 versus 3.08. So we're telling people on average, people are going to lose about 30% of their pension. And as a firm, we were pretty much dead on. People lost about 28% of their lump sum pension. Could you imagine having a $500,000 pension and losing $150,000 of what you've worked so long and hard for? Now let's fast forward to where rates are today. The Fed continues to increase interest rates, but they're very nominal. In fact, the rates as we see as of July, 5.35 is the first segmented rate compared to 5.09. That's a bit of an increase. But the second and third segmented interest rates are actually down compared to last year, which might mean that you might get a 3 to 5% increase to your lump sum pension this year. But the reality of it is it's not going to be a 50% increase. Or we're not going to be able to make up those losses that we had from the year before. And it may take 8 to 10 years for someone to retire. But understanding 5.28 is the second segmented interest rate, and the third is 5.10 compared to 5.6 and 5.41. So we're seeing decreases there. But again, if you have questions on what's happened in segmented interest rates, should I retire now or should I delay my retirement? Give you a quick story. I had a situation with a client back in 2019, and he was working with another firm, and the advisor basically told him, just retire, just retire, just retire. And I said, well, I knew that the rates were actually going down like we're seeing right now. And I told Calvin, I said, Calvin, if you listen to me, you wait till April 1st, you're going to make an extra $68,000 in your lump sum pension. And guess what Calvin did? Calvin fired that other advisor, hired us, and as a result, he made an extra $68,000 in his lump sum pension by working with someone that understands pension. So again, if you're 3 to 5 years out, or if you're forced to be looking at a buyout, you need to start preparing now. That's one of the most important things that really stress to people. And finally, the last topic I wanted to talk about is, let's say you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, and you're not offered a buyout, or maybe you decide it's not right for you. That's okay. One of the things that we do with a lot of major corporations, from Nationwide, from Honda, AT&T, Coca-Cola, you name it, we have the ability to actively manage your 401k. Companies like Scott's, Continental, Nationwide, we can manage up to 100% of those 401k plans. And what Brokerage Inc. allows us to do is to give you more options with more of our institutional money managers. A lot of people saw their portfolios drop. The average target date fund on average was down 17 to almost 20%. There was a great article in the Wall Street Journal that talked about how target date funds are not keeping up with performance. In fact, a target date fund, you may not even realize, but you might have 35 to 40% of your portfolio overseas. And as a result, what ends up happening, 16 out of the last 17 years, international has underperformed U.S. domestic equity. So that's one of the things we do is we help educate, we help de-risk the portfolio so that as we get closer and closer to retirement, we don't have these huge swings when it comes to your portfolio. And again, this is something that's of interest to you, regardless if there's a buyout or not. You're looking at retirement. Should I take this pension or lump sum? Or, hey, I want someone to, that helps hundreds and hundreds of people better understand their options when it comes to their 401k. And if that's you, give us a call here at the Pension Group. You can reach us. Just pick up the phone, 614-423-4600, or visit thepensiongroup.com to get your self-directed brokerage account, what we call Brokerage Link, or your 10-step buyout guide. Again, if this is of interest to you, give us a call, 614-423-4600. Make it a great day.